ultra-high double-curvature arch dam is reshaping the world's hydropower landscape, transforming a torrential river into potential energy. But the key challenge for builders is to find a way of simultaneously discharging floods while dissipating energy. With this end in mind, underground power plants are built on both banks, their domes of mind-boggling size. The world's first million-kilowatt generating unit has upgraded China's 2,500-kilometer ultra-high-voltage power transmission program countrywide from west to east. This represents another breakthrough for China's energy sector. Courageous builders scaling the summit to reach new heights in global hydropower. The Tinsha River in June has entered the flood season. Going up the river in a boat, Baihe Tan hydropower station emerges, an impressive scene among the high gorges.
你看我们这美丽的白河滩呐，一江清水。
But hydropower engineer Chen Wenfu is well aware of the dangers posed by the water.
江水是碧波荡漾，非常温顺，波澜不惊。但是到了汛期，水位上涨，这片江水将可能变成洪水猛兽。
The Baihe Tan reservoir can store up to 20.6 billion cubic meters of water, 5 times that of Taihe Lake, one of China's largest freshwater lakes. Faced with such a large storage capacity, flood control is a massive engineering challenge. Having completed the reservoir for power generation, Chen Wenfu and his colleagues now have to deal with the other side of the equation. How to discharge floodwaters and dissipate energy.
如果说来了洪水，没有有效的处理好，将会对大坝下游的人民生命财产造成极大的威胁和危害。
2,000 kilometers away in Nanjing, an important hydraulic test is underway. An artificial waterfall has been designed to simulate the disruptive impact of high drop water flow on the riverbed below.
车子往回收一点，好。
白河滩这里3万流量的概念呢，从300米级的坝顶倾泻下来，它会对河道产生严重的冲刷，会冲成很大的深坑，对坝基的安全是有很大的危害的。
From the 80-meter-long water tank, the testers have obtained 36 pieces of technical data. The test results indicate that rapid water flow coming from the top of the dam would cause great damage.
情况下，我们的模型本身要检验6个表孔和7公深孔在空中碰撞的姿态，要检验每个表孔。
To ensure that the double curvature arch dam can withstand once-in-a-century floods, engineer Peng Yu is assigned to design a flood discharge system that can dissipate energy.
对大坝的坝基、河床和两岸山体的冲击力是很大的。我们通过计算，可能会冲出一个20-30米的深坑，就会影响到大坝的安全。利用以水治水的原理，采用2层孔口。低的孔口就像龙抬头，高的水流就像龙扶手，在空中碰撞，就像双龙戏水。通过之间的缠斗，把能量消耗掉。 然后再落入水中。
Two dragons playing in water is a traditional Chinese artistic concept. Now, hydropower engineers give it a new meaning for the new era. After more than 100 experiments and calculations, Peng Yu and her team finally chose a trajectory bucket-type energy dissipation design fitted to the terrain of Baihe Tan. But construction will prove extremely difficult. When the hydraulic climbing formwork machine reaches the 55th pouring floor, the countdown begins for the pouring of the 7 deep holes for flood discharge. The holes have an upturned special-shaped structure resembling a dragon lifting its head.
对，它是个龙，它是一个喇叭状的嘛，但是它顶部的话，它又是圆形的，就是它这个设计结构体型不是一些横平竖直的一些结构，就是很复杂，跟我们当时想的就是完全就是两码事。
Construction engineer Huang Chu-yong has poured 2 dams before, but has never encountered such a large and complex structure. The pouring of the 7 deep holes represents an unprecedented engineering challenge. The pouring work officially begins. More than 1,000 tons of rebar were airlifted to the construction site. Over 100 workers get busily to work. First task is to build the special-shaped steel structure. According to the design requirements, the workers have to bundle and weld 15,000 pieces of rebar, an engineering challenge as complex as handicraft weaving. What's more, the steel bars have to be bent into shapes. The bundling of each dragon head must be completed within 20 days.
生孔浇筑的话，大概就是36个小时，中间不能停，就是工期紧张。
The arch dam's 7 deep holes for flood discharge present another challenge that engineers must address. The discharge of 12,000 cubic meters at a speed of 47 meters per second. Water flow of such power has the potential to peel off the deep hole's concrete. Faced with this thorny issue, the designers came up with a simple and ingenious solution, using steel plates as an inner lining to protect the concrete.
我们的设计那就相当于我们这个钢层呢，就给它镶了一口这个钢牙，把它保护起来。
The inner steel lining is a rectangular structure that's 5.5 meters wide, 14 meters high, and over 500 tons in weight. It can withstand the scouring of the currents, but it also makes the dam's pouring work extremely complicated. Each steel lining has over 20 sections. To weld them together takes at least half a month.
下午晚上的时候，8就已经收了，就开24。 3个半浇完了，22、23会搭接一点点。搭接的时候一定要注意安全。它的工序又特别多，怎么能把它的这个时间缩短呢？这就是我们就跟我们这个拍电影一样，你要先写好剧本。我到现场去拍电影只是个执行，我们也是一样的，我们先把导则都给你编好了，就全部要一圈导完了之后才能开始第2个步骤。就是你的焊工，你刚才说的边上2个，边上2个，底上一个，底下一个。
The script of Chu Tien-kong, the team leader, is a 32-page construction guide. According to this guide, dozens of different procedures related to deep hole pouring can be carried out in different locations simultaneously. The assembly and installation of the steel linings are processed like a prefabricated building. These steel structures, originally planned to be welded on site, were all transferred to a platform on the left bank and assembled there before being inserted into the deep holes for flood discharge.
就传统也是可行的，但是我们跟自己较劲，不能满足于现状，所以这个精细化管控给我们赢得了很多的时间。
Before the start of construction in the morning, the cable machine maintenance workers are already doing their dangerous and complicated work in the air. Their routine maintenance has special significance today. The steel linings that have been assembled need to be placed into the deep holes via the cable machine, the only means of transportation. And to lift the 50-ton structure, 2 cable machines have to work simultaneously. safe operation is key. The two female operators of the cable machines skillfully coordinate to slowly move the last oversized steel lining into place under the careful guidance of the ground supervisor. The pouring work that follows isn't as dangerous as the high-altitude transportation, but the densely packed steel frames make it very difficult for construction workers to vibrate the concrete free.
钢筋的结构啊比较复杂，胖一点啊，或者是高个子你都钻不进去，还要找一些瘦小的一些民技工人去钻进去震导。
The pouring of the deep holes must be finished in one go, strictly to time. Huang Chu-yong proposed a quick and simple method. Cut an opening at designated connection points to allow the workers to sneak in and move around the jungle of rebar.
大坝的这个所有的建设者，他们的聪明才智和智慧，就像我们长江上面的涓涓细流，汇聚成我们气势磅礴的大江大河。
When the gates of the 7 flood discharge holes were opened, the river water spewed out in powerful torrents.
我们百合滩的是长江上除三峡以外最大的一个水库，也就是说它的防洪的能力，这个仅次于三峡。所以我们百合滩的话，发电、防洪两副担子一肩挑。
Soon after their completion, the 7 deep holes were assessed according to various engineering technical indicators, discharging more than 12,000 cubic meters per second. Wang Tu-lin, in charge of the whole project, understands that even if the flood discharge holes on the dam are all opened, they can only account for 70% of the entire hub's discharge. To manage the flood of the entire hub, other outlets are required.
它只有在两岸三体里面挖这个泄洪道，这样的话可以提高洪水泄洪的需要。
On the left bank of the dam, 3 hydraulic tunnels have been excavated. Once in operation, they're capable of filling a lake of around 50 square kilometers in 15 minutes. But such an enormous discharge taking place at such high speed threatens to damage the tunnels unless there's proper protection in place. The team led by Wang Xiu-hai, who has over 30 years of experience in hydropower engineering, will take this challenge. They will ensure that there's no pressure throughout the 3 tunnels.
当泄洪的时候，它的水的流速很高。那么在高
The water flowing at 47 meters per second will create a series of air bubbles on the uneven surface of the tunnels. These balloon-like air bubbles would explode instantly under high pressure.
瞬间的能量相当于7000个大气压，这个力量是不可思议的。
To engineers, these seemingly inconspicuous bubbles are just like tiny depth charges. Due to the action of over 10,000 tons of water pressure, the shock waves of their explosions are hundreds of times that in the air, with their jet speed reaching thousands of kilometers per hour. Such a powerful impact force is bound to damage the tunnels. To eliminate these dangerous air bubbles, one key solution is to coat a layer of strong and smooth concrete lining over the uneven rock walls, as a smooth surface can prevent air bubbles from forming.
工艺能不能经受住检验？其实我们心里还是比较忐忑的，啊，就说这在全国没有，在世界也没有。
But this pioneering design brings tough construction challenges. The vertical rock wall is almost 5 stories high. Even the conveying pump designed for long-distance pouring has trouble delivering normal concrete with its low water content and poor fluidity. This specially modified sliding trolley can perform multiple functions, including delivering the cement on the belt, applying it, and repeating the process. It's one of the 1,000 plus technical patents of the Baihutan project. The large section formed in one go has a mirror effect, reflecting very modern architectural aesthetics. But now isn't the time to enjoy the view. The team leader on the site, Zhang Xiamin, knows that the big slope may affect material transportation for the second half of the pouring.
我的台车是300吨级的重量，而且要在24度这么大的坡度上能够自己行走，这个难度是可以想象的。
This section of the tunnel, described by the designer as the Dragon Tail, is a smooth slope of more than 400 meters. Neither vehicles nor construction workers find it easy to stop on this ski track-like surface.
它有下滑的可能，有工人侧翻的可能。为了保证安全，我们就必须要进行技术创新。
After 4 months of research and modification, a transport system was figured out, which functions like a haul truck that can slide up and down automatically. With one touch, it can perform complex actions such as feeding, unloading, and even emergency braking. The last step is to finish the concrete surface of the bottom of the tunnel. Polishing ground that hasn't completely solidified means working like a master chef.
这种窗口期的把握呢，需要我们的工匠他用手指往这个混路面上一按，就知道该不该施工这一道工序了。
To avoid leaving footprints on the soft surface, the workers wear homemade big slippers that disperse their weight. After 1,000 days and nights of hard work, the 3 pressureless flood discharge tunnels are ready to be tested. After the test, Wang Xiaohai and his team need to evaluate the effect of the concrete has in preventing air bubbles.
这里些流态很复杂的，流速也是最大的。只要你整个搞得平整、很光滑，那么在过流的时候一点影响都没有。看到大坝泄洪的时候，都有很多感慨，这个自然界的这个力量无穷，人的智慧也是无穷的。
Mighty oaks from little acorns do grow. Aggregating the wisdom and efforts of tens of thousands of builders is the core strength of this mega project. Today, the rotor of the first generating unit will be hoisted into position. Its success will be of great significance. A core part of the world's largest 1,000,000 kilowatt generator, the rotor is 4 meters high, 16.2 meters in diameter, and weighs 2,100 tons. Today's task is to move it from the assembly station to the first pit at the west end of the underground power plant, docking it accurately with the thrust bearing in the pit. Tien De Mei plays a central role in this task.
今天是100万千万转子的吊装啊，任务非常的艰巨。胖胖、小孔上1号车。
Tien De Mei and her team operate the bridge cranes, which have a maximum lifting capacity of 1,300 tons. The rotor weighs 2,100 tons. Of course, the solution to this problem is known by all. As designed at the beginning, the rotor will be hoisted by 2 bridge cranes. This way, when necessary, the 2 bridge cranes can also work separately to increase efficiency. According to the meticulous plans laid down at 10 a.m., the 2 bridge cranes merge perfectly into one, all under the control of Tien De Mei. As the best crane operator in the Bai He Tan power plant, Tien De Mei is now the center of everyone's attention. At 11 a.m. sharp, the rotor is slowly lifted to the predetermined height of 5.8 meters. It's then moved horizontally over 330 meters. To ensure maximum stability, the whole process lasts over 50 minutes. By noon, the rotor has reached the spot right above the first pit. But the next step is the real challenge. The smaller the gap between the stator and rotor, the higher the electricity generating efficiency. For the 1,000,000 kilowatt generator, the gap between its rotor and stator is 5 centimeters. The limit, given a diameter of 16.2 meters for the rotor. There shouldn't be any contact between the two. Tien De Mei's 12 years of experience is playing a critical role at this juncture. With the close cooperation of ground personnel, she's finished the key operation in only 90 minutes.
好的，好的，赵师傅。
With the successful installation of the first rotor, the Bai He Tan project has taken another step forward. The galloping Qinsha River gathers power here in Bai He Tan, which will be converted by 16 million kilowatt generating units into electricity and transmitted to the east coast of China. However, it's not easy to ensure the stable operation of all the generating units. The water enters the volute of each unit with a discharge of 548 cubic meters per second and a flow velocity of nearly 10 meters. Should the unit suddenly stop operation for any reason, the flowing water will be blocked and its momentum will cause a very destructive reverse impact, professionally known as water hammer effect. Hehai University is a well-known institution in China for training water conservancy talents. The hydropower model here can test the strength of the reverse water flow should a 1,000,000-kilowatt generating unit suddenly stop.
水能载舟，亦能覆舟。像白鹤滩这样大的水锤效应，有可能毁坏我们的机组，造成水淹厂房的事故。从我们设计的角度，应该要考虑到所有的极端工况，保证电站的安全运行。
记录。
Yang Fei is the design engineer of the tail race surge chambers at the Baihetan Dam. His team is looking for ways to release this powerful water pressure.
最高最低涌量的余度基本上已经考虑到了我们在地下开挖洞室的难度，我们最终选择的是一个48米直径的圆筒形的方案。好，蔡老师可以做甩负荷实验了。
3、2、1，开始！
记录最高到111，上次的回流回来了，有一定的波动。总体上在最高的表后洪水位情况下面，我们尾条的余度还是足够的，总体上还是安全的。
After repeated simulations and experiments, Yang Fei's team determined the maximum size of the tail race surge chamber as 48 meters in diameter and 122 meters in height. At the same time, to cope with the high ground stress of Baihetan, the shape of the chamber is designed as a cylindrical dome. No one in the world has ever built such a huge cylindrical tail race surge chamber before, let alone in a place like Baihetan with its high ground stress and complex geological conditions.
你看看这个石头，相当牢固。
The construction team, led by Chen Chu Huan, well known in the industry, is good at excavating underground caverns. The tail race surge chamber at Baihetan is the most challenging task they've encountered so far.
这两个方案啊，开挖施工过程当中啊，它容易形成一个大的空间，我们支付时间比较长，钻孔方向对我们的平整度也好，没有办法保证。所以呢，我的意见就是采用方案3作为实施方案啊。
The team first reached the top of the dome from a pilot tunnel and then began to excavate layer by layer. To prevent the dome from falling, they must support it while excavating. But as the excavated area increased, the ground stress release also gradually intensified. This hollowed-out structure was at risk of collapsing at any moment. Yang Fei and Chen Chu Huan drilled another tunnel 37 meters above the dome. They needed to use this space to install a ceiling support from the outside to hold the huge dome in place. These densely arranged anchor rods would turn the dome into a hedgehog. They would have to be inserted at the right angles to avoid the anchor cables.
一定要确保在设计的偏差范围内。
This super large cylindrical dome involved very difficult and precise rock excavation, a task no easier than building a complex underground palace. The underground construction continued day and night. The hard work paid off. After dozens of drilling tests, Chen Chu Huan finally brought the deviation to about 1%, almost perfect. The dome firmly secured in place, the construction team could resume excavation with confidence. In April 2019, after a year's hard work, the dome of the tail race surge chamber spanning 48 meters was finally done. A great design coupled with flawless construction. Yang Fei and Chen Chu Huan jointly presented this hydropower miracle. Although there are no stars on the ceiling of the dome, the underground builders view it as a magnificent palace.
衷心祝贺制设局完成了一个这么重要的节点。
再次感谢一下我们现场的这个作业的工人们啊。
on the banks of Baihuotan hydropower station, 8 dome tail race surge chambers stand guard over the 16 million kilowatt generating units. They've tamed the enormous power of the river, becoming the world's largest group of tail race surge chambers of their kind. Standing under the giant dome, engineer Chu Jinpeng can feel the pressure inside the mountain converging towards the dome.
这么大的挖空力的情况下，我们还是比较担心它这个应力最终释放点在哪，到底从哪释放。
After the excavation of super large caverns, compressed rock may be liable to sudden release of stress. Such unpredictable rock bursts are a big headache for geotechnical engineers. After several days of monitoring and observation, Chu Jinpeng became increasingly worried. But whenever stressed, he would take a walk along the river and relax a little by looking at the sky and the mountains in the distance.
睡不着，想一想我们刚来时候那个艰苦，到现在咬着牙要把它克服掉，还是要把它做好。
The night is long, but dawn will come. When pouring began for the number 8 tail race surge chamber, a rock burst took place. Judging by recording of the sound, the rock burst was stronger than that in the previous 7 chambers.
的话有20来米，我们预计的话还是在发展，往井的下部延展。这么多年来，我们没有遇到过这么大的地下洞室研爆的一个事情。这个研爆应该说是对整个洞室安全造成了很大的一个破坏，所以对我们来说压力很大。
The rockburst point was about 50 meters away from the construction platform below. The originally flat rock wall has bulged and ruptured, forcibly breaking the supporting rebar. The intensity of the rockburst surprised everyone.
我们前期已经成功到90%的这个状态了，但是现在突然来了这么一个研爆，我们有可能面临着8号尾条井整体失稳的风险。
Broken rocks were still sporadically falling from the rockburst point. Senior engineer He Wei knew that the rockburst resulted from an internal injury. They needed to drill holes from behind and assess the internal damage on the basis of the extracted rock cores.
这一段就是应力比较集中的，
它这个还是破碎的比较明显，
这个是应力破坏的一个特征了。 问题不大，在我们系统网感支付范围内。
The fracture depth inside the rock wasn't as bad as expected. The damage was still within the controllable range. But the opening created by the stress had to be sutured immediately to stop it becoming worse.
我们提出一个方案，就是有破坏的以下给它填起来。
全面回填的方式工程量巨大，
主要的破坏应该还是在表面。
表面松弛这些部位，
在常规排架的基础上做一些加强，确保安全。
After thorough assessment, the engineers finally decided to implement comprehensive system support treatment of the wound. This was nothing less than a surgical process.
做的效果来说还是比较明显从我们监测的成果上来看，基本上稳定了，没有再发生变形或者研爆这一个现象。
5 months later, the reinforcement work was all done. It was an epic effort, people working day and night to create another miracle with their heroic spirit.
阻碍的铁塔下面呢，就是我们的1到4号，然后右外的坝尖下面呢，就是我们的5到8号。
Under the mountains, invisible to the human eye, Chu Jinpeng can feel the power of his project beneath his feet. Very soon, the 8 tail race surge chambers will be formally tested. The day is approaching when the Baihuotan hydropower station will be connected to the grid. The expressway in the air that will transmit the huge quantity of energy is also ready. The Buto ultra-high voltage converter station deep in the Dalian mountains has the largest capacity in the world. The 800 kilovolt ultra-high voltage isolating switch being tested by technicians will be connected with the 16 million kilowatt generating units in Baihuotan, 90 kilometers away.
现在进行建厂换流站直流场8动2动5开关遥控实验，请现场核实状态。
This super heart of power transmission can deliver Baihuotan's 16,000 megawatt of electricity to Jiangsu and Zhejiang provinces, over 2,000 kilometers away in 1/100th of a second. But in the afternoon, the remote test of the 80205 isolating switch ran into a problem.
请现场核实状态。
Pan Yong, who was in charge of the testing, rushed to the scene.
我马上就赶到现场。
Technical data indicated a faulty motor. The main wiring indicated abnormal position of the switch. The isolating switch is just a disconnector, but this 800 kV ultra-high voltage switch is very unusual.
电压正确，相序也正确嘛。好，那我们就
检查插1端子排的1号端子电位正常，
都是正常的。
After investigation, the problem was finally identified. Due to a loose wiring plug, the interlocking point of the motor protector had an abnormal electric potential. The issue was fully addressed by nightfall.
现场检查，控制电源、电机电源已合上，可以进行操作。
收到。那合上8动2动5到闸。
好，合上8动2动5到闸。
At night, following instructions from the control room, the giant switch moved freely and accurately. At a stroke, 2 mega projects became officially connected, establishing an energy artery across China and marking an important milestone in the history of the world's power industry development. On May the 31st, 2021, the long-awaited last concrete bucket arrived as scheduled. The builders gathered on the 289-meter-high dam to witness this historic moment. In the monitoring center of the headquarters, engineer Chen Wenfu is routinely checking various technical indicators after pouring is done. The data indicate that the feat of a seamless dam is within reach.
大坝开始交第一场开始，在大坝施工中遇到的各种问题，在我心里都预演了很多遍。所以，普通大坝建成精品大坝，那就是水到渠成。
Fu Wang is attentively guiding the bucket on site. This last bucket is the 90,000th one he's guided in the past 4 years. At this moment, under the workers' feet, the water level of the dam has risen to 760 meters. The underground caverns on both sides of the dam have withstood the anti-seepage test under high water pressure.
几百米水头压上来未出现问题，1510个日日夜夜，应该说我们每天都在坚守，可以说按天数过来的。
The last bucket added 30 tons of concrete to the top layer. Now the dam, consuming a total volume of 8.03 million cubic meters of concrete, was complete.
大坝封顶了哈，就感觉把这个小孩培养成熟了，挡水了，就证明他已经成人了，开始发挥他的功能了。
Dawn, an early start for Kong Yong Lin. head of electromechanical engineering. Today is a key day for the Baihetan project team. In a few hours, the first generating unit on the right bank will be tested for power generation while connected to the grid. There are over 20 core test indicators, and this is the last item. If passed, the unit will be put into production.
检查一圈啊，不能有漏的。好，所有的碳刷要拔掉。
The day of the big test has finally arrived. Da Sin Min, head of the electromechanical installation on site, checked the core parts of the unit again before starting the generator.
然后压力一切正常。
There are over 100,000 parts in each unit. Any deficiency in the installation may affect the safe operation of the entire water turbine.
好的，收到。
At 2 p.m., Kong Yong-lin, the project manager, issued the order to start the power generation test.
把这一套试完，另外一套也要试一下。
The gate is slowly opened. The powerful river water rushes in, pushing the runner weighing over 300 tons and a rotor of 2,100 tons. The generating unit starts to operate. Very soon, the rotating speed has reached the rated value of 100%.
转速100%，转速100%。分照正常，上端照正常，上端照正常。
It continues to run for 5 minutes. All monitoring data are normal, indicating that Unit 1 of Baihetan hydropower station is operating perfectly. The rotor is spinning in the stator at a high speed of 345 kilometers per hour. Now is the critical moment. The rotor charging process has begun. With the injection of current, the magnetic field of the rotor gradually increases. Between the rotor and the stator, under the cutting action of strong magnetic lines of forces, Baihetan begins to produce electricity. With the rapid increase of the rotor's magnetic induction intensity, the power generation of Unit 1 instantly reaches the rated power of 1 million kilowatt. The world's first million kilowatt generator has successfully passed the ultimate test.
一切正常。不错，对，很成功啊。
This is a pivotal moment for all the Baihetan builders. The numbers jumping before their eyes prove that power is about to surge into the vastness of China's green energy sector. On June 28, 2021, as Baihetan's first batch of generating units were officially put into operation, President Xi Jinping sent a congratulatory letter as follows. I would like to express my warm congratulations on the occasion when the first batch of generating units at Baihetan hydropower station started production safely and on time. Baihetan hydropower station is a major national project to implement the country's west-to-east power transmission program. It's the largest hydropower project under construction and the most technically challenging in the world. The world's largest single unit with a maximum capacity of 1 million kilowatts has achieved a major breakthrough in our country's high-end equipment manufacturing. You have demonstrated the spirit of excellence, bravery, and selfless dedication, contributing to a major national project by working together to overcome difficulties. This fully shows that socialism was established through action, and the new era will be no different. I hope that you will coordinate and advance the follow-up work of Baihetan project, making greater contributions to the targets of carbon peaking and carbon neutrality and the comprehensive green transformation of economic and social development. Time flies. Walking on this unique double curvature arch dam, Wang Trulin can finally savor the time he spent on it.
忙了这个10几年了，感觉上自己来了也就像是昨天来的一样。这个人就是一直在非常紧张的状态下，感觉上就相当于自己来了不久，哎，这工程就搞完了。从内心来说，当然也是非常自豪的。
A mega dam, a green lake. Builders take concrete steps to fulfill the promise of green development.
白鹤滩乌东德水电站是党的18大以来开工建成并投产发电的2个1000万千瓦级的4节级巨型电站。这2个电站是贯彻新发展理念的新时代典范之作。
Today, by re-evaluating nature, searching for gifts bestowed by nature, and harnessing green energy, Chinese engineers are constantly innovating new technologies. Their combination of wisdom and effort presents a vision for the future of green development, offering a Chinese solution to the global challenge of climate change.